The economics of belonging in Manifesto. I believe we have misunderstood community. We talk about building communities, creating communities, and finding communities. But I don't believe communities begin when we decide to organize them. I believe they already exist, wherever people share a purpose, a value, a hope, a history, a place, a calling, or a dream. A community is already there. Sometimes it is visible. More often, it is hidden, scattered, disconnected, waiting to discover itself. Leadership is not the act of creating a community. Leadership is the act of recognizing the community that already exists and helping it become visible. It is helping people discover that they are not alone, that they belong to something bigger than themselves. Every organization has two communities. The first is the community it already knows, its volunteers, its supporters, its staff, its customers, its members, its alumni, its trustees, its neighbors, its advocates, its quiet champions. These are the people who have already found the organization. But there is another community, one that is no less real, simply because it is unseen. It is made up of people who have never attended your event, never opened your newsletter, never donated, never volunteered. Perhaps they have never even heard your name, and yet they already carry the same values, the same hopes, the same convictions, the same vision of the world. They care about the things you care about. They simply haven't discovered that there is a place where people like them already belong. Leadership is not only about serving the community you can see. It is about revealing yourself so clearly through your values, your stories, your culture, and your actions that the invisible community recognizes itself in you. People rarely join because they are persuaded to believe something entirely new. More often, they join because someone has finally given language to what they have believed all along. They recognize themselves. They think, these are my people. This is what I've been looking for. This feels like home. Belonging is not membership. Belonging is an experience. It is the feeling of being seen, of being heard, of being accepted, of being safe, of being valued, of knowing that your contribution matters. It is the freedom to bring your whole self without fear of judgment. When people experience belonging, something remarkable happens. They begin to care differently. They move from observers to participants, from participants to owners, from owners to stewards. Generosity follows, not because it is demanded, but because it is the natural expression of love, purpose, and shared responsibility. This is why I believe fundraising is not the beginning of the journey. It is one of its outcomes. People do not become generous because they are persuaded. They become generous because they have found a place where they belong, a place they are proud to call ours. The economics of belonging is built on a simple conviction. People already care. Communities already exist. Some are visible. Some are still waiting to discover one another. Leadership connects the dots. Leadership gives language to shared values. Leadership creates places where people recognize themselves. Belonging creates ownership. Ownership inspires contribution. Contribution strengthens the community, and the cycle begins again. This philosophy extends far beyond charities. It belongs in businesses that want customers to become advocates, in schools that want families to become partners, in churches that want congregations to become spiritual families, in alumni networks that want graduates to remain connected, in neighborhoods that want strangers to become neighbors, in membership organizations that want members to become leaders, in every place where people gather around a shared purpose. For me, this work is ultimately about stewardship. Each of us carries something unique, a gift, a calling, an idea, a dream. None of those gifts exist in isolation. They are connected. One person's work creates the conditions for another person's calling to flourish. We are not isolated stories. We are part of a greater story. The task of leadership is to help people see that story, discover their place within it, and invite others into it. The goal is not simply to build stronger organizations. The goal is to build stronger communities. Communities where people are seen. Communities where people are heard. Communities where people belong. Communities where people take ownership. Communities where people become stewards of something bigger than themselves. Because when people truly belong, they don't just support a mission, they become part of it. And when enough people discover that they belong to the same story, extraordinary things become possible. That is the economics of belonging.